Hey, how's it going? davidinark here, and today, I know it looks like a bunch of Kleenex sticking out of the box there for a minute, but no, I actually bought this box of different hardware cards off of Facebook, and I thought it might be fun to bust it open here and adjust my light a little bit. There we go, that's better. Anyway, I thought it might be fun to bust it open. I'm not sure what the heck all was in here. I never do this. There were some pictures posted. It looks like there's some video cards, maybe some network cards. And I just thought, you know what? I'm going to buy the whole bunch. It had a pretty inexpensive price. I have no idea if they work or not. So that'll definitely be one of the things that I'll be doing later in the video, is testing them out in probably my dad's old P4, because I'm pretty sure some of these cards are going to be older, and they're not going to be, you know, PCIe or anything like that, but we'll find out, I guess. So let's bust this open. So let's see what we got. First card. Ooh, here's the bubbly wrap, which, if you're going to send cards, you know, electronics, ideally you wouldn't use bubble wrap with a lot of static. Just going to throw that out there. But I realize not everybody has access to anti-static bags, but still, yikes. It would almost be better to just wrap them in just regular paper. But anyway, this is a Firewire card, and it is PCI. So, let's see if we can get some information. It is an Agiri FW323-06. So there you go. Or there's a number at the top, the AFW4300C. So, oh, and on the back it says Adapt Deck. Probably could have just started there and called it good. I don't like the discoloration on the back. That probably means either something got spilled there, or that could be a burn. I don't know, it feels a little weird. Just kind of rubbing my finger on it. But anyway, so we have a Firewire card. Whoa, okay, we got ourselves a monster card here. This is, oh, okay, this is going old school. I believe this is a 16-bit ISA card. It is actually an EISA, hence the EISA Busmaster chip on the front of it here. But that was the extended ISA, which is not 16-bit, but actually 32-bit. And turns out it was a response to the PS2 IBM micro architecture. And so you can actually find motherboards that have EISA slots on them. This one we have an ATI Rage Pro 128. So there we go. Oh, look at that. That's nice and bent. Nice and bent. That's beautiful. Ah, that is ugly. Oh my gosh, and look at how badly that's bent. That's generally caused by someone who either doesn't know how to remove cards, especially AGP, so this is an AGP card, or someone who just basically they had probably tons of these things, and they were just going through, pulling them all out as quickly as possible, and they bent up the brackets. But there you go, an ATI Rage 128 AGP. That'll be fun to check out in my dad's computer. All right, next up we have another ATI Rage 128 AGP. All right, so we got two of those so far. So again, I'll have to check those out, see if they actually work. Ooh, we have a Sound Blaster Live PCI card. That's awesome. I hope that bad boy works. Sound Blaster Live. All right, that'll work. The CT4830. So here we have another AGP video card, and you can see here this dude is loose and actually is, you probably can't see that, but it is disconnected, so we won't be plugging this bad boy in. It does not say on the board itself. Now it has a 64M, so it's definitely a 64 meg video card, and we've got several output options. There is nothing that says what brand it is, other than, I mean, on the back it has NTSC, so all right, we know it's a North American video card. However, there is an LR2930, which I believe translates to a GeForce 4, and possibly this might even be a GeForce 4 Ti model. I don't know. I really wish we could plug this in and test that out. That'd be fun. But with this, whatever this piece is, and I don't know electronics enough to know what this is, but whatever this is, it is so loose and obviously not attached to the board. And I have zero experience in soldering those type things, so I'm not going to mess with that. But by all means, I don't know. Maybe I can find somebody who does that kind of thing, and they'll be happy to take it off my hands and test it out or fix it or do whatever. So we'll just see how that goes. Let's see what the next thing we have here is. Oh, ooh, we have an ATI Theater. Ooh, look at that. This is a video capture card. Well, I don't know if it's capture, but it's definitely tuner. It's got a cable TV input, audio, S-video, and composite. That's interesting. And it's actually a PCIe 1X. Oh, let's see what, okay, on the back. No. I don't see anything that jumps out and tells me exactly what this is, so I am very curious. It does have ATI tuner, and like I said, it does have ATI theater, so I'll do some checking on that and I'll throw that in the video. Everything appears to be okay on this card. I don't know. I may throw that into a machine and play around with that and see what we get in terms of TV tuner. I don't even know if I can pick up a TV signal anymore. Whoa, what the heck? Well, we have another adapt deck, and it's, I don't know what that is. Is that a micro? Is this a micro architecture type thing? Micro channeling? It is an adapt deck. Oh, it's a SCSI card. If I would read, Dave. But it's a SCSI card 39160. So, but I'm not familiar with that crazy extended. It's almost like a dual PCI connector. That's very interesting. I don't know what that is. I've not seen that. So I'll do some checking on that, but there you go. Some SCSI adapter action there from Adaptec. So let's see what we got here. We've got yet another video card. And this one is either missing the fan or it did not have a fan. And it is, let me look on the front to see if I can see anything. Now, it's got space for memory, but there is no memory there. So this is half the memory, basically, that I guess the Pro version of whatever this card is would have. Everything looks pretty decent in there. I just have no idea what this is. So, oh, actually, ladies and gentlemen, there's a sticker on the back that says FX 5264. So, this is definitely a 64 meg GeForce 5200X. That's not necessarily a great video card, but my understanding is that you can get these pretty cheap, and it's not a bad way to get into some kind of entry-level AGP based gaming for the day. Based on what I'm looking at here, another 5200. It looks very similar to the card we just pulled out. So let me look at the back here, and 3D Force FX5264. So that one's got a little bit more information on the back than the previous one. Again, we've got DVI, S-Video, and VGA all popped there onto an AGP board. I have hit the mother load of AGP cards, evidently, because look at here. Does it look familiar? Looks very familiar. And yes, as a matter of fact, it is a 3D Force FX 5264 meg. So another one of these. We have another one of these, man. Holy cow. All right, so yes, it is the exact same 5264. I'm building up quite a stack of those over here. All right, we have a VGA card. It's just VGA. It says NVIDIA, and on the back it says an ETNT2 M64, which is funny because it's actually on the back it also says a 32 meg AGP card. And so we have an NVIDIA TNT2. Oh my gosh, yes. Another 5264. We have already seen so many of these, so these must literally be a dime a dozen, man, because there's a bunch of them in here, and I cannot imagine that these would fetch any decent amount of money considering what I paid for the entire box, which was frankly pennies on the dollar for what these devices used to cost. But still, hey, worth checking out, right? All right, next up, yet another VGA card. I got a whole slew of VGA cards, should anybody want some. Oh, this is an S3 Verge DX. If you're not familiar, the S3 is kind of the de facto standard for video cards in virtual machines. It is one of the most emulated cards out there, so that's pretty cool. I've never had one, and it is PCI, and it's got slots, it's got sockets for memory. I just don't have that memory populated, so yet another video card. Oh, that's not good. It's got, you probably, yeah, you can see that. You've got some leaning pins here. I'm going to have to straighten those up. You definitely don't want those shorting out when you put that into a system. I'll have to check that out. And this is an S3 Trio 3D. Okay, we have a sound card with a game port. This is a Crystal 4281 PCI. So, not Sound Blaster, but Crystal. That's cool. CS4281. So, I'll have to look that up. All right, still have a few more items to go. And this one, this one is a sound card with various options in there. Digital I/O. It's got fiber I/O. Wow. And this is a Sound Blaster X-Fi Extreme Fidelity. This is an SB0790. Look at that. I love the blue PCB. That's cool. Man, that's a PCI sound card. Copyright 2006. Yeah, so the X-Fi Extreme Fidelity. This is the last card in the box. So here we go with VGA port and a game port. That's an interesting combination. This is an MGA 64-bit graphics. And MGA, I was looking, Matrox. Okay. So it's Matrox, but I don't know what the model is, from 1997. Or those are all of the cards that came in this box that I bought just, from some random dude on Facebook. I don't even know what possessed me to buy it, but I don't know, I just saw a bunch of different cards. I thought it'd be kind of cool. So I'm going to jump into whatever testing I'm able to do, and that's coming up next. All right, first up we have the Rage 128, and we tried to change the resolution and color settings, and every single time in Windows 98 anyway, this thing would just balk at it. It would always pop back and say that there's a problem with the card, there's a problem with the settings. No matter what I did in Windows 98, the 128, neither one of them would work. So I'm going to later try that in XP, and we'll see if maybe it's a Windows 98 issue or something. All right, here we have the S3 Trio 3D, which the system got the drivers installed with no problem. Now we're going to I do want to change this setting in Windows 98 where I can apply the settings without restarting Windows every time. So anyway, we're going to bump up the resolution here, and let's just see what happens when we apply 800 by 600 and give it a second. And ta-da! Yes, so the Trio 3D works just fine, and as a matter of fact, we can even bump up the colors to true color. Ooh, look at that deep, dark Windows 98 blue. And here we have the Verge DX, the S3 DX. As soon as the computer restarted after installing the driver, the resolution was already ramped up, so we definitely know this card is working just fine. I'm going to actually dumb this back down to 800 by 600, just, you know, because why not? And yes, that one works for the Verge DX. Here I tried to install that Matrox card. When I hit the setup, Windows 98, this is 98 SE, it does not detect the card at all with Matrox drivers that I could find. So we will try installing this in Windows XP. It could be that this is just too new for 98. All right, well, with all the trouble that I was having out of Windows 98, I decided to throw the Rage 128 into Windows XP, and sure enough, this thing seems to be working just fine. Change the resolution here, and absolutely just no problem at all. So obviously a Windows 98 issue. The 128 works great in XP. Now this was kind of weird. One of the 5200s actually shows up as an FX 5500 after the system detects it and the drivers are installed, but there you go. All right, next up we have the Riva TNT video card here. This is the, or Riva, however you want to say that, the TNT Model 64. It popped straight up since I had just installed the other NVIDIA drivers. No problem at all. We can change the resolution, apply that, and the TNT card is working beautifully in Windows XP. All right, so at this point, I grabbed one of the other 5200s and threw it in the box, and it actually detects as a 5200 as it is marked, not the 5500 like the other one, and it works just fine. In fact, all of the 5200s worked except for two of them. Two of them, when I put them in the box, I would get the computer post-beeping telling me that it had no video card installed, so I'm just going to assume that two of the 5200s were just bad cards. All right, so at this point, I decided to shift over to the sound cards, and you can see Windows XP detected the live as the SB Live value, and so it's installing the driver software for it, and once that's done, hopefully, when it gets done with handling the business, it will actually have regular nice sound coming out of the sound card itself. So I'm just going to jump ahead here for a second. All right, after it gets done installing the driver, it asks me to restart the computer, and here is normally where you hear the Windows exit sound. There we go. That lets you know that the sound card is working great. So the live works beautifully. Now, here's a look at the X-Fi Extreme, and those connectors look pretty corroded. That's pretty nasty. Not sure what that's going to mean in terms of functionality. All right, so here I have installed the X-Fi Extreme Audio, and at this point, things seem to be working okay. This is an automatic update thing. I don't really care about that. So I close out of that, and it seems like it's working. So I decide to head over to the little volume icon here and attempt to see if it'll make any kind of noise, but nothing's really happening. So one of the things you can do is just jump in here to the speaker settings, and this is when it says it can't load some of the needed components. And I never could get the X-Fi to work, so I guess it's dead. I don't know. It's weird. So I installed the Crystal sound card, and it shows up as a Crystal Sound Fusion CS4281, and the Windows XP detected it without, I didn't have to install a driver or anything. It just grabbed the sound card, knew what it was, and went to town. So I thought I would test a sound. And sure enough, we get audio coming out of the sound card through the speakers that I had attached. So there you go. Not quite as nice as the Sound Blaster Live, of course, but not too shabby at all. Hey, at least this one worked, unlike that X-Fi Extreme. All right, well, there you go. Just a bunch of random video and sound cards that I got. Everything worked except one of the Rage 128s was a dud, two of the GeForce 5200s were a dud, and unfortunately that X-Fi Extreme also did not pan out. But you know what? For what I paid for all the cards, I can't complain at all. So I don't know, what'd you think? Got any questions, problems, suggestions, horror stories? Feel free to leave those down in the comments section below. I want to give a special thank you to GamerGull, Hero of God, and LosWilko for supporting me on Patreon. You can check that out, patreon.com/davidinark. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know down below, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.